The history of American men's tennis over the past decade could be written using only two words: Sampras and Agassi. Grand Slam finals have been their battleground 4 times. Sampras winning at the US Open in 1990 and 95, and at Wimbledon last year. Agassi was the victor when they played here in the 1995 Australian Open final. They've never met in a Grand Slam semi-final. But that will happen here this week in Melbourne if Sampras wins his quarterfinal match tonight. The Australian Open is next, exclusively on ESPN. A win tonight will put Pete Sampras into his 20th Grand Slam semi-final of his career and inch him closer to his record 13th championship. Victory for American Chris Woodruff would put him into his first Grand Slam semi. It's the men's quarterfinals from Melbourne Park. Melbourne is the friendly city, and it welcomes you to the Australian Open. Tonight, Pete Sampras of the USA, the number 3 seed, takes on Chris Woodruff, also of the USA. Earlier today, Andre Agassi, in his quest for another Grand Slam, he won 2 last year, took on Hisham Arazi. Agassi, dynamic, in great form, very focused. Arazi, flashy and unpredictable. But the dominance of Agassi continues. In fact, it was such that sometimes Arazi could only smile. 6-4, first set to Agassi. There was some flash from Agassi like that one, but mostly focus. He goes on to win the second set 6-4. Third set to Agassi, easily 6 games to 2. Agassi, no problem, a winner, and he is in the semi-final of the first Grand Slam of the year. Hi, everybody. Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe alongside. We've seen one of the greats of the USA. Now we're going to see the other one, and he has got as much, maybe more at stake, going for 13, which would be a record.
I thought you were talking about Chris Woodruff for a second there, the other American here, but Agassi was flawless today, and he sent notice to Pete Sampras that Pete Sampras is going to have to play his best tennis if and when he takes on Agassi. But first, he's got to take care of Woodruff, and of course, Sampras just 3 steps away from being the only man to win 13 Grand Slam singles titles. And tonight, he's going to have to take on Chris Woodruff, country from Tennessee, in his first Grand Slam quarterfinal. I get the feeling from talking to Chris Woodruff just before the match that he's feeling a little bit tight, because this is what's at stake for Woodruff, his first, as I said, Grand Slam semifinal. First time he's trying to take out Pete Sampras. He's had a great event so far, has country. Chris Woodruff beat Henman, but he's going to have to play beyond his capability, I think, and hope that Sampras struggles.
It is Chris Woodruff and Pete Sampras. Mel Washington will join us, and we'll have ladies' results when we come back. ESPN's exclusive coverage of the Australian Open is brought to you by Saab, celebrating over 50 years of innovative automobiles.
Hey, sweetie.
You got that?
Yeah. What are you doing? We rented your room. What? Well, we have to make up for the money we lost in the market somehow.
Yeah, we thought we'd try investing on our own.
But it's my room. Oh, it still is. Half of it, anyway. Frogger. Jimmy Frogger. Jimmy!
Next time, don't go it alone. Ask your financial advisor about the fund so many financial experts choose. Alliance Capital, the investment professional's choice.
I just hope it's healthy. I hope they're playing land safely. I don't want to go to the hospital anymore.
I wish I could get my email out.
I wish my network had more bandwidth.
I hope we get 1 million hits.
Never stay here.
I wish I could have done more.
I wish I had more time.
Agilent Technologies. Dreams made real.
usually not quiet about sports. But when it comes to prostate health, here are the facts. If you're over 40, testosterone levels can start to drop, and that impacts urinary and prostate health. Prostatonin is a new natural supplement proven to safely help maintain prostate health, to avoid too many trips to the men's room. Now that's worth making some noise about. Take prostatonin. It's a guy thing.
He makes sure at the end of every game that Chris gets his power.
Quarterfinal of the men's singles, and Pete Sampras, who has won 61 titles in his career. 28-year-old Sampras trying to make history here by making it 13 Grand Slam singles titles to serve first ball to Chris Woodruff. Also of the USA, man who's about the same age. He's just 1 year younger than Sampras. Not in the same league, though.
15 left.
We said it, Cliff. Pete Sampras, 28 years old, lives in Orlando, but actually has a home out in L.A. now where he's spending a lot more of his time. 40-8 last year. First time he did not finish number one since '92. 6 straight years Sampras at number one. And coming out with some serious gas on the serve. Chris Woodruff, 27. Career high at 29 a couple of years back. Had injuries for most of '98. Has come back very, very nicely in the last year. And this is a huge, huge result for Woodruff so far to get to the quarterfinals. First time he's gotten to the quarters of a major.
Sampras pretty authoritative on his first serve game.
That's second serve.
Well, I asked Pete, Cliff, about an hour ago when I was in the locker room, "You going to come out firing tonight? What's the story?" He said, "I said, you going to come out firing and with everything?" He said, "That's the plan."
3 little words. That's the plan.
I said, "That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to know."
One to Woodruff, 40-15. First game, best of 5. Winner will take on Andre Agassi in the semifinals.
Well, it's good to hear Sampras confident because he really hasn't been that comfortable here. We've talked about the conditions. Pete hasn't been hitting the ball that cleanly off the ground. He did look better in his last match of win over Dozadel. And he comes out with it. Big service game to open this match.
He's had some time to get used to the conditions. Malavia, Washington at courtside. Mel?
Cliff, down here courtside, the conditions are great this Tuesday afternoon for a match. There are a few clouds in the skies, and I don't think that's going to be a question. But the question is Chris Woodruff up to the task? We've continually said he's having his best Grand Slam ever, and he's playing against a guy who we also have continually said, Pete Sampras, is not playing his best tennis. He doesn't quite feel comfortable. Is Chris Woodruff really going to be able to make a statement here in his career? I think he's going to really have to get off to a good start in this first set.
Sampras got off to a pretty good start in the first game. One game to love. This is Woodruff to Sampras. His first serve point. Comparison between these two does not look very good for Woodruff.
Well, anytime you compare Sampras to pretty much anyone, you're going to look a little shaky. Woodruff, 83 match wins. He's won 2 tournaments in his career, Woodruff. Uh-oh. Well, that's not a good sign for Woodruff. Sampras is, so far his plan is working. I mean, this is Sampras at his best. The running forehand covers it nicely. Incredible pace cross court.
15 all.
2 titles that Woodruff has won, by the way. Cliff won the Canadian Open, a big one, a couple of summers ago, and last year in Newport on the grass.
They've only played once, and that was won by Sampras.
It was in San Jose.
And 7.
Yep. Indoors. Sampras chip in charge here. That approach just hit the baseline, and then the eyedropper. I agree with Mal. If Woodruff gets down early in this match, this could be short and not too sweet for him. Because Sampras, once he gets on a roll, and as I mentioned at the top, when I spoke with Woodruff, he had the feeling that he's a little bit tight on this occasion. He really shouldn't be, because he's got nothing to lose in this one. The break point now for Sampras.
It's not a good idea to try to work your way into a match against Sampras.
Well, now when Sampras looks to be sharp, which he does in the first 2 games.
Yeah, that's the plan, Patrick, and he is taking it to Woodruff. That's a good play from him. Great passing shot from Woodruff in reply. Break point again. Do you imagine, I mean, you know probably, is Agassi watching this match?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yes, great passer there from Woodruff. I don't think he's watching. He may step out and have a quick bite, a quick dinner, but he's watching the beginning. Woodruff passed up the line at 15-40. This time showing his versatility off that 2-hander with a nice cross-court pass. Took the pace off that one beautifully.
That's a great shot. That was good.
Oh, wow.
A series of extraordinary plays. That one from Woodruff clipping the line. Game point, Woodruff.
I thought the slice right there from Sampras was a winner, but great hustle from Woodruff, and that one just clips the sideline. With the wheels from Woodruff, who had that knee surgery a couple of years ago, hurt his knee while kicking field goals. The end of '97. Game point.
And game to Woodruff. That was the same year that he won the Canadian. 1 game more, first set. America's Cup Challenge set sail from New Zealand. Don't miss our coverage here on ESPN2. Coverage throughout the week. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Well, I'm not sure that Woodruff is going to make a match of this one yet, Cliff, but if he does, we have to remember that first game. Down 15-40, a couple of huge passing shots, an amazing one-handed scramble on the run, and a good first serve.
That is an unbelievable shot, to the extent that you and Mel are right about getting out to a quick start here. That was, as you said, a big game for Woodruff.
Well, Woodruff read that serve. Sampras, at full stretch, was able to snap that volley. His right arm, Pete Sampras, is like a club. I mean, it's so strong. His arm, his shoulder. Another great return from Woodruff.
I'm still smiling about that's the plan, because he isn't staying back for 1 second longer than he has to at the moment.
At the moment, he's executing that plan. Sampras taking a long look at that one. He hit that hard and with incredible angle for a right-hander in that ad court.
He is irate. It's about the most of get out of Sampras. That is wide, so it's 30 all. Woodruff doesn't mind a target, on the other hand, Patrick. I mean, he has returned well already.
Yeah, he has, and he's met those Sampras serves pretty cleanly. He guessed right on that first volley from Sampras, and another good-looking pass, so 30 all. Oh, man, another huge return. Picking the serve up early. Sampras tried to take a little pace off this and get it wide, but he didn't get it wide enough into the strike zone. And Woodruff now with a break point. Now a real opportunity here. Oh, yes, he takes it. Wow, he stepped into that one.
So you wonder who Chris Woodruff is? He's sort of telling you now, isn't he? 2 games to 1. Woodruff with a break against Sampras. He has played 2 brilliant games.
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
The world's first active head restraint, designed to reduce whiplash. From Saab.
In the quarterfinals, it's going to be the number 4 seed, Germany's Nicholas Kiefer, and he is a good one. Believe me, he has really played well here, looking for a place in the semi-final to justify his number 4 seeding. He said he will not play Davis Cup for Germany. Meanwhile, he's taken on Magnus Norman, who's had a terrific tournament as well. Magnus Norman taken out Leighton Hewitt, the pride of Australia. They will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN for your viewing pleasure. That's another quarterfinal men's singles match. 2-1 Woodruff with a break.
Well, what a start to this match. I mean, the quality of play has been amazing so far. That's Woodruff's 5th winner against just 1 unforced error, his first ace. Sampras with 6 winners and only 2 unforced errors. Yes, we're early, but these guys have come out of the gates, both of them hitting the ball well.
Help me out here, Patrick. That I missed. Flashback December '97. Woodruff, pretty good role on the tennis circuit. Finished that year number 30 in the world. As you take a look at Paul Annacone, he was the 4th-ranked American, behind Sampras, Chang, and Courier. And he was talking openly about winning a Grand Slam event. And then that day in Atlanta you talked about, field goal kick attempt, hits the ground instead of the ball.
Yep.
Injury. Easy put away for Sampras. Woodruff played after that kick only 1 match in 1998.
Yeah, he tried to come back too early, actually, and that's what happened. His ranking plummeted. He was doing the kicking field goals with Richie Renenberg, another American player in Atlanta. But he made a really great comeback last year because he came all the way back. Hey, he's the Tennessee Titan. That's right.
The Titan.
It's an appropriate graphic for this week. There's Chris from Knoxville, spent 2 years at the University of Tennessee, won the NCAA championship in '93.
Woodruff is a legendary worker. Courier called him the best practice player in the world. And they had some laughs about that. I mean, he'll practice long and hard.
Right. although these guys, Cliff, have only played against each other once, they've practiced together a lot, Sampras and Woodruff. Woodruff has been a practice player on the Davis Cup team a few times. Last year in Boston, he was one of the practice guys. Of course, Sampras was there for the double, so they know each other's games well.
Deuce.
First double, that last point from Woodruff.
Oof. Really, he has got a very, very severe backhand.
And that's his 5th winner, Cliff, on the back end. A couple of them coming on some huge break points down, and this time he just attacks that. Good preparation, compact. Look at the way he turns his body through that ball. Game point. And that's where Sampras will try, I think, to direct his attack, particularly the way he's seen Woodruff attack the backhand side. Sampras will try to get Woodruff moving quickly to his forehand, and that's the shot where Woodruff will make a few more errors. Moving quickly to his forehand side.
I guess, Mal, you have to say that Woodruff has got to play as well as he can play, maybe a little better, and that's what he's trying to do. That time and error break point here.
Yeah, I really think he knows he's going to have to play a really good match because Pete Sampras is a guy who's going to raise his game as the tournament goes along.
Yep. Sampras gets the break back. It is 2 games all in the first set. They've traded breaks.
Well, Sampras very focused there to get that break back.
2 minutes all.
Talking about Tennessee and his home, ESPN takes you to Atlanta to get ready for Super Bowl 34. The Titans against the St. Louis Rams. Catch all the action leading up to the big game on ESPN and ESPN2. Tune in for the latest from our entire NFL crew. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com.
I mean, Sampras moved so well in that break point, Cliff. He knew that was a big opportunity, and he knows how important it is to get the break back, as he just did early, because he sees how well Woodruff is playing. Doesn't want to let Country get too much confidence early here.
30.
Ace number 3 for Sampras. Really been able to use that swinging serve, 117 on the Porsche radar gun. As this court, as we mentioned, so quick and really takes the spin and the speed, Cliff.
When we were promoting this match this afternoon, did you say he doesn't like Country anymore? As a
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, I let one slip. Talking about Chris Woodruff, yeah. Look at Woodruff totally guessing there.
Yes, right,
First
actually.
serve, yeah.
Game point. Oof. Maybe it's not Agassi like, but it's not far off. He has hit a couple of screaming returns.
And he's connecting right in the middle of the racket. You're right, Cliff. He is guessing, or he's reading the Sampras serve pretty well in the early stages. I have to think that Sampras, though, is picking up on that. He'll start to throw in a little more variety.
One thing to read the serve, it's another thing to be able to hit it back like he's been able to do a couple of times here. This is a good warm-up for Sampras.
Oof, big second.
3 games to 2, 2 breaks to serve, 1 apiece. First set of this best-of-5 quarterfinal men's singles at the Australian.
It hadn't snowed in 6 weeks. Some people had given up all hope. In desperation, the town council turned to a Miwok elder for help. It won't come tomorrow, he said, but when the moon fills, it will snow.
Celebrate the new year with a little Millennium Magic.
I like it. And it's fantastic.
HBO The Works is whipping up the biggest hits, electrifying sports, and the originals everyone's talking about, including an all-new season of The Sopranos.
I just think that's very, very wonderful.
For entertainment that's sure to be a hit, turn to our 7 big channels.
I think it's healthy and fabulous.
There's a hatful of fun on DirecTV.
This whole first set could have been very one-sided had it not been for this point right here. Watch Woodruff as he gets to that one. That was game point. Woodruff gets it back. It was break point actually for Sampras. Sampras looking at the mark, but had it not been for that hustle from Woodruff, he'd be in serious trouble. As it is on serve 2-3, Woodruff is making a match of it so far. 5 backhand winners for Chris.
Well, Woodruff said he's going to try to keep going at that Sampras backhand. And he said the word to me, he's going to try to sort of lull him to sleep, Sampras, a little bit by continuing to go at that backhand. But that's really the first lazy-looking backhand error that Sampras has made.
Just what I was thinking. He's been very lively, Sampras.
Well, when Sampras starts to move you side to side with the backhand, and that's a bad sign. And Woodruff, normally on that running forehand clip, that's a shot you'd play cross court, but out of respect for the Sampras forehand, Woodruff decided to go back to the backhand wing of Sampras. Sampras got him on the run.
That sails along. I mean, if he can keep that up, Patrick, and he's obviously going to, as you just said, try to go to the backhand side and break it down if he can, that'll be fine. It's difficult to believe that Sampras is going to let himself be dictated to like that, though. And he's obviously not, he's trying to counteract it by, as you said, going one side to the other.
Yeah, going down the line and trying to create a forehand for himself, Sampras.
Game points for Woodruff.
Great serving from Woodruff so far, his third ace. He's mixed him up well, using the corners.
Woodruff holds on, breathes a sigh. 3 games all, first set. 1 break apiece. Chris Woodruff in Grand Slam play. This is his best.
Career high, as we talked about back in '97. That's off the strength of his win at the Canadian that year, which is the Super 9. Now that they'll be called Masters Series this year. Ended '99 ranked 51, the 7th highest American. He'll make a serious move after this result. It comes easy for Chris Woodruff, but he doesn't mind the hard work. I mean, he revels in that. Very mechanical hitter of the ball, but boy, does this guy work hard, committed, very focused. Got a great attitude. He's a feisty competitor.
First match rather was a straight setter, Patrick, and then his second as well. Actually, he took out Fromberg in straights. It wasn't until Henman that he really had a tough one. That was 7-5 in the 5th.
And I've seen Woodruff play a lot over the years. I played a little doubles with him a couple times, and never once have I seen him get a negative attitude on the court and not put in a full, complete effort. Sampras again using that swing and serve. You see Woodruff totally guessing there.
40 love.
Ace number 4 for Pete.
Easy game for Sampras. Players will change ends with Pete Sampras, the number 3 seed here, trying to win his 13th Grand Slam, leading 4-3. It is so nice to get the last 8 of a slam. To do it, he had to take out the number 11 seed, the Brit, Tim Henman.
Well, this was one of the better matches in the tournament. In the 5th set here at 5-all, Woodruff was down. And look how he continued to go for his shots, and he scrapes that volley up there. Saved a break point, and then Henman serving at 15-30 at 5-6. And this scrambling, good scramble from Henman. Woodruff at match point now. Big return, as we've seen already in the Sampras match, and you think he wasn't into this win? First time they get into the Grand Slam quarters.
Like he just won Wimbledon. Pete Sampras talking to the chair umpire. Was that the trainer?
That's the trainer, yeah. He's one of the ATP trainers, Jurgen. And I don't know if Sampras took a little tablet or something, maybe for his stomach.
Did you catch that, Mal?
He did take something. I have no idea what he was taking or what it was for, but yeah, he did call out the trainer on the changeover to give him some type of relief for something he's having.
Sounded like something from My Fair Lady, that lady calling that.
Ow! My Fair Lady. That's my wife's musical she started, you know.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You may be the only one, but...
Woodruff trying to mix in a little serve and volley, but Sampras with a good low return, and then the cross-court pass.
15-all.
Talked about Woodruff's win over Henman, and the first couple of rounds were pretty routine for Chris Woodruff. Martin Dam from the Czech Republic in straights, an easy win over Sokolov, an Australian wild card, and then Fromberg, the veteran Australian, a solid straight set win there. Fromberg had taken out Thomas Enquist, one of the seeds.
Yeah, seeded 6 actually, Enquist, and last year's finalist. Game point, Woodruff.
Okay. Woodruff.
4 games all, first set.
4 games all.
Pete Sampras has had a pretty routine road, except for that 3rd round when he was 2 sets to love down against Wayne Black of Zimbabwe. Wayne Black had come through the qualifying. Sampras really struggled in that match, but gutted it out. He's 8-0 in 5 setters in Australia, Sampras. Of course, that's a preview of the Davis Cup match coming up. USA against Zimbabwe.
And we will be headed in that direction. It is west from here. And we'll be showing you that first round of the Davis Cup competition. Let's see, next weekend, not this weekend, will be the finals, live coverage of the finals, both men's and women's, Saturday, let's say Friday night and Saturday night where you are. And then we'll be heading for the Davis Cup, Zimbabwe, USA. Easy game here for Sampras. Not many rallies here, and I guess we could have figured that out from what Sampras told you again. That's the plan.
That's the plan. Well, he told us that from the beginning of the tournament. You know, he says, I'm going to serve and volley all the time. The conditions are too quick. Ball's moving through the air so fast.
Okay, Sampras.
Easy game for Sampras. It's 5 games to 4. Melbourne is a beautiful city. It is summertime in the southern hemisphere, and the lights are on.
In tennis, the advantage of the two-handed backhand is obviously power, because you're using both hands. But it also is deceiving because in a split second, you can change the direction of the ball that you hit. Your opponent never knows if you're going to rifle it down the line or rip it cross court, and I like that.
Knowledge is the edge. Take the Invesco Endeavor Fund. You should know what Invesco knows.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
Sampras has won 12 Grand Slam singles titles. He's trying to make it 13 here. That would create another Pete Sampras record. Anyone he has not won is the French Championships. He's had about as much success in Paris as Marie Antoinette, as a matter of fact. Would love to win it. The semi-final was the best he ever got there. 5-4 to Sampras. And Agassi becoming comfortable with this idea of being #1, I think, Patrick, but this man has worn that mantle more easily than anyone.
Yeah, look at all the weeks at #1 since way back in '93. I don't think Sampras feels real comfortable not being at #1. Woodruff mixing it up well from the back of the court, though. He is going a little bit more to the Sampras forehand. Got to have a lot of confidence in your ground strokes to do that consistently. And at the moment, Woodruff does. Sampras looking for a call, hoping for one, but I think that caught the line. Well, after some brilliant shot making in the first 4 or 5 games, players holding serve very easily now in the latter stages of this first set. Oh, blocked that forehand.
5-0 first set. When Woodruff won the Canadian in '97, he took out Mark Philippoussis, who admittedly may not have been the player then that he is now. But he also took out Gustavo Kuerten in the final, and Evgeny Kafelnikov. I think that was the year Kuerten won the French Championships, actually.
Yep, 97, you're right.
15 loves Sampras.
And one thing about Woodruff, he's not intimidated by anybody. He really feels like he has a shot against the big boys.
Closing stages, first set, Mel. The tension is rising.
It is, and I think Pete Sampras is feeling extremely comfortable on that first point. He hit a 111-mile-an-hour second serve, so you know he's feeling pretty good.
Whoa! You don't see that too often. Well, you see him going for that sky pretty often, but not mistiming it. This is the signature. This is like Michael Jordan missing a dunk. Wait a second, we can't have this.
Well, so much for what I said about Pete feeling good.
And I think that means he is feeling good when he starts to go for that move. Sometimes he'll think twice about it, Sampras, but he's obviously very loose. Paul Anacone, his coach, has to be pretty pleased with how Sampras is playing, particularly serving in this first set.
He's got the groove going for him. Pete Sampras on his own serve anyway. Woodruff will serve to try to get into a tiebreak first set when we come back to the Australian Open men's quarterfinal.
At CompUSA, you'll always find more than 5,000 computing products. Virtually all the hardware, software, and accessories anyone could ever want. All right around the corner. Now through Saturday, save $100 instantly off any notebook powered by an AMD processor, including Hewlett-Packard, Toshiba, and Compaq. Even the new Compaq 1200XL106. CompUSA, the computer superstore.
Hertz presents Famous Last Words.
I know this town like the back of my hand.
Left or right? They said it was easy, just follow the signs.
These are the words that inspired Neverlost. The in-car navigation system from Hertz. Tell it where you want to go.
Approaching right turn, followed by a right turn.
And it tells you how to get there.
Shortest distance.
Will you find Neverlost in any other rent-a-car?
Okay, now this is the third time we have been in this block. People are now waving to us.
Not exactly.
It's the Shrine of Remembrance here in Melbourne, Australia, remembering the World War II vets. It is one of the historic sites that you can see in Melbourne and enjoy the beautiful weather at the same time. It has not been too hot this year down under.
Well, Sampras has been getting burned from the back of the court. A great stab there. Trying to put the pressure on here now at 5-6.
Oh! Didn't waste any time attacking that one. First serve, and he was ready to come in behind it.
Well, I talked earlier about Woodruff reading the serve. Look at Sampras. Look, he's taking a step as the ball's in the air. He does little hops, little skip after that winner return. Pete liked that one. Love 30. Oh, great play from Woodruff.
He had to pull that one up and over the net, and that ball came back pretty low. That was a very good shot at a tight time for Woodruff.
Exactly right, Cliff. He had to get under that and flick it and get enough pace to get it away from the Sampras forehand. Oh, that's just beautiful tennis from Sampras. And look now, it must be second week of a Grand Slam time. The fist pumps are coming out in set number 1 from Pete Sampras.
Patrick, I think that's
set points. Sorry,
but I think that's the first time I've seen that kind of emotion out of Pete all tournament long. That fist pump.
That is a great pass on the line from the two-hander. That, to me, is a very solid shot.
It's more than solid, Cliff. Down set point. Sampras was moving to cover the line, and he just threaded the needle.
Still set point. Wow. Another one. That time the running forehand that will do justice to the great one, Pete Sampras himself. What's this?
Well, I was going to say from the beginning of the point that Woodruff played this defensively because he spun his serve in and it gave Sampras the opportunity to attack. But, man, what a forehand on the run down set point.
Well, he has dodged a few bullets in this set, Patrick. Remember that early point that we replayed, actually, where he was in serious trouble.
Well, he's dodged them with amazing passing shots and attacking the short ball again there, right inside the line.
Now, if he's able to hold on here, and that is a big if at deuce, it may give him a little momentum leading to the first set tiebreak, because he was in desperate trouble here at 15-40, down 2 break and then set points. Deuce.
Again, Woodruff showing guts and confidence to attack the Sampras forehand at deuce at 5-6. And Pete just clipped the tape on that. What great tennis here at the end of set 1.
It was a gutsy play. It was also a good one because he didn't hold back on it. He gave it a big thrust. Ooh, that's wide. This is high quality stuff now.
Yeah, this is. We were talking about that Agassi-Philippoussis match, and this one is right up at that level. Woodruff comes in. It's not his favorite shot, but not a bad approach. It skips through the court. But Sampras' backhand pass up the line has paid some dividends so far in this first set. Sampras working like a dog to try to get the break here. That's the first loose shot, Cliff. The first loose one. Woodruff knows that he ran through that ball a little too quickly. Didn't take his time.
Third break and set point for Sampras.
You see that missed forehand there, Patrick, on the last break point. You mentioned that Chris had spun that serve in. I think he was afraid of Sampras attacking his second serve. We'll see if he does it again.
That goes long, and Sampras has broken. That was a sensational game from both players, won by the world's number 3, trying to get back to number 1.
Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Movies you'll see first on Stars and only on Stars.
Only one network delivers more golf than anywhere else.
The Golf Channel brings you everything you want to know, watch, and enjoy from past and present in the world of golf.
More live call-in golf chat.
And instruction with top teaching professionals. More up-to-the-minute nightly golf news, worldwide tournaments, plus early round coverage of premier PGA Tour events.
And much more. The Golf Channel. More golf.
From Melbourne, Australia, on a beautiful night, the Australian Open continues. One of the biggest stories of this fortnight, the fact that Jennifer Capriati had a win today. She's in the semi-finals, the first time in 9 years. The comeback kid is on the trail, and our own Pam Shriver talked to her after a win today.
Thanks, Cliff. I'm here with a very happy Jennifer Capriati. Jennifer, first abdominal strain looked like. When did you hurt it, and how is it?
Well, actually, I felt a little something yesterday in my doubles, but I just thought it was nothing, just like a little twinge. And even this morning, I felt fine. I just forgot about it. And I got it warmed up just in case, though. And but still, in like the first game, I felt it right away. And you know, so I called the trainer, and but she really did a good job with taping, and so I think I was okay.
Well, obviously, it didn't seem to hinder your play much. You played great. You only lost 2 games. Is this the best you've played in the 7 years since you last got to the quarterfinals?
To get to the semis, I think I played all right in that U.S. Open when I got to the semis there. But so far, I mean, this is the best I've played in a long time.
Well, in the 7 years since a quarter, and now you're going to play a semifinal where it's been 9 years. How do you go into a match, and you'll probably face Lindsay Davenport? Do you feel pressure, actually, is all the pressure off right now?
It's I'm just so thrilled to just be in the semis right now and just to be there. That really I'm just going to enjoy the moment and just play, just do what I've been doing is play, you know, just try to play my best and just give it all I got, and I'm not going to be nervous.
Have you had time yet to think about the semifinals you've played before, and do you remember anything that you can learn from those earlier matches that you can apply this time in the semifinals of a major?
Yeah, well, maybe just, you know, even though I'm, like, in the semis, just to really stay focused and concentrated and, you know, just think of it as another match, you know, and, so, you know, what I do is I think of it as a practice match, too, you know, because I don't get nervous in those. So, you know, maybe just a little different from the last time.
Well, congratulations on getting this far, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Pam.
Actually, there's a lesson in that. Think about it as a practice match and you don't get so nervous. Capriati is through. She'll take on Lindsay Davenport in the next one. She'll have to work it out there, Patrick.
Well, it's a little hard to play a practice match in front of 15+ thousand. But, no, it's just a great story to see Jennifer back, enjoying it, playing as well as she's playing. She's going to have a tough one. I don't expect her to beat Davenport. He's starting to get on a roll now.
And Hingis is the class of the top half of the field, isn't she? With Serena Williams gone.
Well, Capriati is going to be a threat all year long, I think. I think she's going to get in even better shape.
30-15 here, now 40-15, first game, second set. Sampras playing a brilliant game. Last game of the first set to take it, 7-5.
It really was. Finally, Woodruff succumbed to the pressure. Made a couple of forehand errors, but it took some aggressive play, some great shot making from Sampras to finally break Woodruff down in that last game.
There were errors also, Patrick, but he's going for so much. Pete Sampras wins the first game of the second. He won the first set 7-5. Pete Sampras going for history here. 12-time Grand Slam winner, going for 13. This is the Rod Laver Arena. Sampras has won the first, taking on Chris Woodruff, having his best Grand Slam ever. Woodruff from Tennessee.
The Rocket, of course, Rod Laver won 11 Grand Slam singles titles, including 2 Grand Slams, 2 different years. He won all 4.
What's that, mate?
I hear the speaker.
Beep or something?
I guess you cannot finish the story about Laver without saying that for 7 years he couldn't play any Grand Slam tournaments, and my guess is that he would have won at least another 5 or 6.
Oh, at least, definitely. The speakers that Sampras was talking about, that he heard some sound coming out of them.
That's a great pickup there from a tremendous shot from Sampras getting to Woodruff's feet, and he picks it up, and Sampras makes the error on the pass.
You see another good rally. Woodruff getting it deep into the backhand corner, and that was an awkward volley. Pete just couldn't quite get under that forehand pass. Of course, every time you make that point about Laver, Cliff, I always make the point that if 3 of the 4 Grand Slams were played on grass, like they were back in the 60s, imagine how many Pete Sampras would have.
I think you have to add to that the fact that tennis is much more competitive now, because it is. 1 strike for Lever, 2 for Sampras. I mean, it's very difficult to make those comparisons anyway.
No, it is fun. Well, that's a play that the Rocket employed himself. The big backhand return and then coming in with the knifing backhand volley.
I think we'll probably continue to see Sampras do that with the Woodruff serve, really trying to get on top of him here early in the second.
Tough to pick that serve, isn't it?
And he serves about as well as he can in this match so far, Woodruff. 6 aces. And his percentage has been outstanding, Cliff. 69% for Woodruff. That's going to slide wide.
Woodruff holds on. It's 1 game all in the second. 6 Australian, 2 French, and boy, I tell you, Emerson's record of 12 is what Pete Sampras is chasing. Lever had 11. Borg had 11. Borg never won the U.S. or the Australian.
Well, he didn't play the Australian.
No, because
I don't think he ever played it at all.
Well, he would have if he had a chance to win the Slam.
Yes,
but he could never win the U.S. Open.
Win the Open.
And in those days, the Australian was the last, not the first.
Won 6 French Opens, Borg, and 5 Wimbledons.
That is an outstanding lob from Chris Woodruff. Sampras going over. Let's watch this.
Yeah, it's not often you can get and force an error from the Sampras overhead.
What's going on here, Mal?
On that overhead, Pete actually lost a little rubber shock absorber he keeps in his string, and he was looking around the court for it, and it actually wound up on Woodruff's side of the court. If I was Woodruff, I don't think I would have given it back to him.
Right. Take any edge you can get here.
Hey, these are the 2 nicest guys in the business. That's a funny. I think that's hilarious, Mal.
That's first.
I might have just thrown it up into the stands or something.
You're nuts. That's funny.
And that time Sampras handles the overhead. This one on the backhand side. Actually, Cliff, I just went to my book here. Borg did play the Australian Open once in '74. Lost in the 3rd round.
Talking about going to the books, Joe Lynch, who is one of our favorites, who knows more about this game than all of the 3 of us
combined,
put together.
Yeah.
He's leaving the ATP Tour. We wish him the very, very best and thank him for all that he's done for us. Without him, we'd sound empty.
Well, he'll be sorely missed by all of us. Ace number 9 for Sampras.
Hey, the shark is still there, and the Singh, Mickey Singh. Game point. Makes that 2-handed backhand return look easy.
Cliff, you mentioned Joe Lynch. I know Joe Lynch from back in my college days before Joe was even with the HB Tour.
That's right. He was with the NCAA, wasn't he, before he joined the ATP?
That's correct.
Plus, you guys live in the same town, don't you?
Yeah, we both live in Ponte Vedra, and I also wish him luck.
Return is on the line, and this is deuce. 1 game more, second set.
Another big second serve from Sampras, but Woodruff reads it. Mishits it slightly. It drops right on the line.
again, Sampras.
Pete Sampras putting in a big ace as he holds on 2 games to 1. They traded breaks in the first set, and then Sampras got the break to lead 7-5.
No, I'm pretty big for a koala. And if I really stretch out, I can touch the end of this 6-foot 6-inch first-class sleeper bed with my toes.
The world's first active head restraint, designed to reduce whiplash. From Saab.
Qantas has some of the best food in the sky.
Yeah.
It's all as fresh as humanly possible. Oh, and they really know how to look after a vegetarian.
Match stats are the first set. Pete Sampras, both players actually serving exceptionally well, high percentages, lots of aces. The winners really is the difference there, and the break point opportunity. Sampras earned himself a few more. Woodruff came up with some huge passing shots to save quite a few of those. And now Woodruff waiting, I guess, for a damp spot to be cleared up there. Maybe the Sampras sweat. Very humid tonight, perfect temperature. But it did spit a little bit of rain earlier this evening. A lot of humidity, both players sweating a lot out there. 1-2, second set. Doesn't Sampras' footwork, Cliff, just look that much more precise in this match tonight? I mean, he's getting up to the ball, he's getting himself in perfect position. He's obviously more comfortable now with the conditions.
Different players, unrecognizable from the guy who was playing early stages of last week. I mean, this is an authoritative step. On the other hand,
authoritative forehand there.
Yeah, Chris, that's what I was going to say. Woodruff, I mean, there's not a lot of things that can go wrong with those swings.
No, he's pretty precise. I mean, his preparation is good. The early backswing there really explodes through that ball. I like the way he brings his back hip around on both the backhand and the forehand. That's where he gets a lot of the torque.
That's a great point. Because he is exploding into it. I mean, it's not like he's just trying to get the ball back.
No, it's clearly not going to do it. And again, he attacks the short ball to the Sampras backhand. This was a great stab here from Woodruff. But Pete is right there, and he's measuring that up the line backhand.
That's it.
That's a good shot.
And the way he's working the court with that backhand, Cliff, Sampras I'm talking about. You asked me earlier, you think Agassi's watching this, and I think he is, and I think he's might start to be getting concerned. Look at that roller there, opens the court up, and then flattens it out up the line. You don't normally see Sampras putting together 1-2 punches like that with the backhand off the ground. Ooh, that's a late call. A tough one on Woodruff at break point down.
It was late, but I think he was right. Yeah, he was trying to duck out the way. He thought the ball was coming towards him, and it was late. Yeah.
Break point, second serve. Yeah, that is just a very smart play from Sampras to chip and charge. Did a lot of that in the early stages of the match and then kind of got a little lazy. Nevertheless, got the second break to win at 7-5. Now Sampras is up 3-1 break in the second set. Tradition of top-rated bouts continues on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights presented by Miller High Life. Tune in Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Scheduled 10-round super middleweight bout, plus all the latest boxing news and information. 119 mile an hour on the Porsche radar gun.
Guys, you've heard a lot of players talk over the years about how tennis is such a mental game. I think coming into this match, Pete knew he was going to be up for a fight and up for a battle against Chris Woodruff, and I think he just mentally prepared probably better for this match than he had throughout the tournament because he knew he was up for a fight, and that's the difference in what we're seeing tonight, I think.
You would have said the same thing, though, against Philippoussis, wouldn't you, Mel? Because he knew he was going to have a tough one with Mark.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, while we're on that subject, let's talk about Andre Agassi, because even when Agassi was 140 in the world, Sampras never, ever forgot Agassi, and he kept talking about him even when he was basically out of it. That one sails, easy game for Pete Sampras. He has got a big lead now, albeit one break, 4-1 in the second, and he has the first in hand. Back to Australia after this.
Man has always dreamed of getting to the other side. Some make it, some don't. But at least your phone calls get there. Because Agilent provides technologies for almost every kind of communications network. From way down here to way up here.
The new Boxster S. Even heaven has its moments of hell.
At the Australian Open this year, the Woodies, maybe now the most famous doubles team ever to play, took on Wayne Ferreira, right of your screen, and Yevgeny Kafelnikov.
Well, the Woodies also may be playing in their last Australian Open, as Mark Woodford's not playing Davis Cup this year, and as I said, this could very well be his last year. At 34, though, this guy's still playing incredible doubles. The Woodies won the first set, lost the second, went to a third. And with that lefty serve from Mark Woodford, the Woodies move on at the Australian Open to the quarterfinals. 6-3 in the third. Kafelnikov will be just as happy to rest up for his singles now.
Woodruff serving 1-4 second set. I'm surprised, Patrick, because during the Hartford World Doubles last year, I thought they said they were going to play through the Olympics.
Well, that's this year. I think this is going to be their last year.
So they are going to try to qualify for the Olympics.
I think so. Oh, yeah. They're not going to play Davis Cup, but I still think that they'll be chosen as the doubles team. I think that's sort of a way that the Woodies would like to go out, play in the Olympics in their home country.
30-love Woodruff.
Several games ago, we noticed Sampras asked the trainer, Jürgen Dess, to come out, and we saw that he had received a couple pills for his stomach. I had talked to the trainer. He said he just had a little bit of an upset stomach due to something he had eaten prior to the match.
40 love. Game to Woodruff, but it's Sampras that's got the break in the second, and it's 4 games to 2, 1 set to none.
One of the most frustrating things about playing Pete Sampras, Cliff, when you get down a break like that, you can win a couple of service games so easily. It's almost like Sampras just sort of flails at a few shots, and you feel like, gosh, how can I be down a break? This guy's just missing everything. But he gets up to serve. And the ball sort of blows by you, and then you really don't get any rhythm at all, and that's part of the Sampras strategy. You know, when he gets up a break, particularly on a fast surface like this, he'll just go for shots in his return games. He doesn't get at all bothered if he makes a couple unforced errors in a row.
You know who was famous for that, Patrick, once he got a break up and he sort of just flail away like that? Was the late, great Pancho Gonzalez.
He had a pretty decent serve himself, Pancho. Chris Woodruff having some success with the topspin lob here. This one sits up thanks to the net court. Sampras looks to close in on the net. Woodruff gets some leaning forward.
15 all.
He's really worked over that Woodruff forehand in the deuce court, Sampras. A lot of swinging serves out wide. Country's connected on a couple of them, but Pete's won a lot of cheapies with that one.
High backhand volleys, one of the tougher shots in tennis, but you wouldn't expect Sampras to have missed that one. He was close enough to the net. 30 all.
Well, this may be one of Woodruff's last opportunities here, Cliff, at 30 all down a break.
That's what I was thinking. Ooh, there goes the racket, isn't it? Yep.
A couple of strings broken after that one, I think.
And so we'll see a second serve here. Just as well for Sampras that that ball didn't go in.
No, he really shattered a couple strings there. He's going to...
You were saying that he was stringing with a slightly thicker gauge.
Thicker gauge because the conditions are so quick. I mentioned that to him before the match. I said, you're using a slightly thicker gauge. He said, yeah, how'd you know that? I said, hey, man, this is my job. I'm going to find these things out now, Pete. Well, you said it, Cliff. You don't expect Sampras to miss that one. That one was much tougher than the one he bricked on the previous point. A good topspin lob, but look at this. At full stretch, he's able to get that short. Remember, he has to angle that perfectly because this ball bounces up on this rebound A surface.
Steers that one for the winner, and Sampras holds on. He's got a 5-2 lead now in the second set. Won the first 7-5. Pete Sampras looking for the opportunity to take on Andre Agassi for a place in the final here at the Australian. We are in beautiful Melbourne.
Hi, I'm Shawnee Jebbia. Join me as Platinum Presents looks back at some of the high points of 1999. Free concerts, free sporting events, new channels and technology, plus the first commercial satellite launch from sea. We'll also look ahead to what's in store for you in the new year, including the new season of The Sopranos and a free preview from Sundance Channel, including coverage of the Sundance Film Festival. It's a special year-in-review edition of Platinum Presents on Channel 500. See you there.
Welcome to Beat the Buzzer, college style. 40 minutes of perpetual motion and outrageous moves.
Outrageous? I prefer larger than life.
With ESPN Full Court on DirecTV, buzzer beaters are what you'll see. Up to 30 times a week for the rest of the regular season. Plus select conference tournament matchups. All for just $49. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and follow your favorite teams and players from top conferences.
Order ESPN Full Court today while there's still some time on the clock.
Yevgeny Kafelnikov is the number 2 seed here at this year's Australian. He won it last year. And in the other quarterfinal, bottom section, he would take on Younes El Lanawi of Morocco, another Moroccan in this championship. Arazi beaten by Agassi earlier. And you can watch that on ESPN2 alongside us late night tomorrow night, 11:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Australian Open quarterfinals continues in the men's single. 5-2. Pete Sampras leads in the second set. Woodruff serving.
Love position.
Mentioned the possibility of a Sampras-Agassi semi-final. Looks more and more likely now, with Sampras already in the semis, with Agassi already in the semis. Sampras 1 set and 1 game away. 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, ESPN.
Sampras looking to close the door on set 2 with the second break here. Again, with the backhand up the line, quickly in. Sampras has really been effective at net in the match so far. And up at net 45 times. He's won 29 of those points, but he was low on those numbers in the first set, so he's really improved the percentages. His net points won as the match has gone on. Oh, again, the backhand. Well, I guess Pete has adjusted to the conditions.
He's got a couple of set points here on Woodruff's serve, 15-40. Said a couple of times the first week, Patrick, and you turned out to be dead right, and that is that the players obviously have got more used to the conditions now, and the quality of tennis has made a dramatic jump.
Yeah, you can see it here. Again, Woodruff going for his shots.
Still set point, puts that one away, deuce.
Yeah, Woodruff has really made Sampras work in this match. He's played about as well as he can play, because Sampras has been on his game from the start here in this one. Wait till I tell you the winners and unforced errors after this point.
Running forehand in the net.
There's 37 winners, Cliff, for Sampras against just 15 unforced errors. Remarkable numbers. So we see another good serve volley point from Woodruff. And Woodruff with 23 winners and just 10 unforced errors. This guy's down a set and a break. High quality tennis here in this quarterfinal.
Simple fact is, when you're up against somebody who is playing high quality tennis, you either do the same or you go through the exit signs in a hurry. And Woodruff really has played well. Stab backhand volley, deuce.
What quickness there from Sampras. Just amazing stretch. Woodruff working as hard as he can. And look at this one. At full stretch. Able to snap that backhand volley.
Not only was he at full stretch, I think that ball was actually behind Sampras when he hit that volley.
Sampras down the line, clean winner, backhand side, smooth as silk, and Sampras has another set point. This is his third.
Well, watch his reaction after he rips this one. Then you know Sampras is feeling it when he does that little double shoulder shrug. He missed it there, but then you know he's real confident.
This is the best I've seen Pete hit his backhand in a long, long time.
As evidenced by the double shoulder shrug.
Yeah, the double, that's a telltale sign that Sampras is confident.
Deuce.
I mean, you want some insightful analysis,
I like
right,
it.
Cliff?
If I repeat it, I love it. That's a great shot. There's a crispness about the way that Chris Woodruff hits this ball that, you know, if he was playing against a lesser player.
Yeah, he gets up to that quickly. There's also a crispness about the attitude that Woodruff still has. Can you call an attitude crisp?
Yes.
Okay. He's still very eager. And a lot of players would realize that they're up against Sampras at his best and not continue to fight every point. Or not feel like they could stay in the match. And you haven't seen any of that negativity from Woodruff in this one so far. Continuing to go for his shots, attack. There he double faulted, but he went for the second serve. That's just a second double. Only one double fault in the match for Pete Sampras.
I do not remember Chris Woodruff having played on this Rod Laver Arena yet. And it takes a little while to get used to it, too.
This is it. Woodruff, not known for his feel or his hands at net, has come up with a couple of real nice-looking half volleys.
Game point, Woodruff. Sampras, by contrast, has not played a match other than on Rod Laver Arena, and he is now going to serve on Rod Laver Arena for a 2-0 lead against his countryman from Knoxville, Tennessee, Chris Woodruff.
Cliff, I definitely know Chris hasn't played on this arena, this tournament, and I'm wondering if he's ever played on this court. Because I'm thinking back, and I'm not so sure he has, and it does take a little bit getting used to looking up at this open stadium with the retractable roof and all the surroundings and all the people in the stadium. It's a little different than other stadiums.
On the other hand, Mel, Pete Sampras is very comfortable here.
Really been perfect conditions tonight, though, with the pretty mild temperature, no wind. And that's why you're seeing such high level of tennis in this one. One of the reasons. The other one happens to be these two guys.
Practitioners, yeah.
Exactly. Another big second serve from Sampras as he continues to cruise on serve. 2 points from a 2-set lead.
Yeah, that is just too good a volley. I mean, that he couldn't have hit a better return, and Off his shoelaces, Sampras comes up with a terrific approach, and now he's got 3 set points for a 2-set-to-none lead.
Cliff, I'm wondering what was better, the volley or the 114-mile-an-hour second serve?
Game and 7 seconds pending.
Pete Sampras is the number 3 seed. He is trying to get to a semi-final showdown with Andre Agassi.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
My baby don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh yes, she don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh yes, she don't stand no cheating. Don't stand none of that midnight creeping, my baby. True little baby, my baby.
Hello, this is Chris Hamilton at Porsche Motors. I'm either away from my desk or with a customer right now. But if you leave a name and number.
It is a spectacular sight. Melbourne at night that hosts this Australian Open Championship. Pete Sampras leading Chris Woodruff, both of the USA now by 2-0. Time now for the prostatonin. Between the lines, Patrick.
Well, you mentioned the Sampras volley, and I'll tell you, he's getting in as quick as I've ever seen him off that serve. And on that fast serve, this fast service, that's difficult. He's been very, very effective up in net in this one. He's had to be because Woodruff has returned exceptionally well. But here are the numbers between the lines. Sampras 20 of 26 on the first serve. You expect that. And 8 of 16 on the second, which is pretty good, considering how well Woodruff returns, particularly on the second serve. It's a pretty decent number for Sampras. He's had to work, though. He's had to work on quite a few of his service games. Woodruff has broken him once, his one break point opportunity. That was way back in the early stages of set 1. Sampras got the break right back. Oh, look at Pete. He can't believe that pass. Because, whoa. That looked like my running forehand pass. I mean, Pete clocking the backhand, a great slice. And look where Pete was. I mean, he was covering the line. I was going to say, well, he should have covered the line, but look where Sampras is. That ball barely over the net. He's right there. It's too good from Woodruff.
A little bit of Hisham Arazi earlier today with Andre Agassi, the way that he would just had that smile on his face, say, well, you know, what can you do? Agassi was terrific earlier today.
Ace number 8 for Woodruff.
Woodruff.
Players will change ends, no rest. Just so you know, new rules now on the men's professional tennis tour, and the women have done the same thing, at least for the Grand Slams. They will immediately walk over and start the next game, and then they take a 2-minute rest when the set is over, regardless of score.
Here are the new rules that you talked about, Cliff. First game after each set, they change sides. End of each set, the 2-minute rest, and now the third one. Default is not automatic after 3 infractions, which it was last year. Warning point match. It'll go warning point game, correct?
Game or, I mean, if it's something really grievous, then you can kick him out.
Then you can kick him out, yeah.
15 love.
I mean, you think he'd get a chance on the second serve to sort of step in and attack it a little bit every now and then, but not when Pete Sampras is in the serving rhythm that he's in now. Mike Morrissey in the chair obviously heard a little beep as they have the electronic net calling device here.
The machine went off.
The machine went off and Pete's not buying it.
He might be buying the fact that the machine went off. He's not buying the fact that it was a lap.
Right.
30-love Sampras. 1 game to Woodruff in the 3rd set. 2 sets to none Sampras.
It's just amazing that he can consistently bring down these bombs on second serves.
Patrick, it's no longer a first and a second. I don't think he's just hitting 2 firsts now.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's in such a groove and he's losing so few points on his serve. You're probably right, Mel.
Woodruff has broken Sampras once. You know how many break points he's had?
Uno.
100% effectiveness.
Yeah. Another good return from Woodruff. Gets the backhand down low. Look at that, at full stretch, able to control it. Bunted back. Pete tries to play this maybe just a little too cute. Just catches the net court. Still game point.
Game Sampras.
Pete Sampras holds 1-all in the 3rd, and of course we've all been talking about the showdown. That's 1 set away now between Agassi and Sampras in the top half of the draw. Norman and Kiefer, a great matchup, that one. And Elanawi against Kafelnikov. Kafelnikov a big favorite in that one. Elanawi's played 3 5-setters. Not sure he'll have enough in the tank to play Kafelnikov tough over 5 sets. And Yevgeny, the defending champ here, has looked stronger in each one of his matches here. Hasn't dropped a set since the opening set of the tournament, has the Russian. Tried to get that around the net post, just ran out of room. That's one that players always love, you know, Cliff, when you can have a chance to hit that shot around the post.
Yeah, that gets everybody's attention. $30-love. Oh, boy. Mal, after the demolition derby this afternoon with Andre Agassi on the court, I asked you whether anybody could beat him, and you said you couldn't see anybody doing it, but you're getting to look at somebody in the next round, and Pete Sampras is going to play him. Any second thoughts on that after this?
Well, Cliff, like I've said before, I think in this tournament, Pete is basically playing up or down to the level of his opponents. But the way Agassi is playing right now and the way he played against Arazi, I just have a tough time believing that anyone can beat him in this championship.
I don't have a tough time believing at all the way Sampras is looking tonight that he can beat Agassi on this surface. Again, pace there from Sampras.
All things being equal, if they had never played against each other, Agassi and Sampras, I would agree with Mal, but Sampras has got a slight psychological edge over Agassi as you take a look at the break points won, and here's another chance. That one sails wide. Whichever way it turns out, it is going to be another royal battle.
Cliff, I do agree with you on that point, though. I believe Pete has that psychological edge. If you recall, just last year, Pete beat Andre in so many big matches in the finals of the World Championships, in the finals of Wimbledon, in the finals of L.A., in the semifinals of Cincinnati, I think it was. So he's beaten him in a lot of big matches recently.
Sampras with another break point, which brings me to a question for you, Patrick. When Sampras lost to Agassi so badly in the preliminary round at the World Championship, a round-robin event, was he giving it everything, or was there a little gamesmanship in that loss?
I don't know if I'd call it gamesmanship, but I definitely think that he knew that he was going to have another opportunity to play him again. Gets the break here, so Sampras up 2 sets, and now a break in the third.
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
At CompUSA, you'll always find more than 5,000 computing products. Virtually all the hardware, software, and accessories anyone could ever want. All right around the corner. And right now, get a free scanner after rebates with the purchase of any complete system. But hurry, this offer expires Saturday. CompUSA, the computer superstore.
This year's Australian Open, Chris Woodruff has made his mark, taking out Tim Henman in an effort to get to, and in fact succeeding in getting to the last 8 of this first Grand Slam of the year.
And he's played exceptionally well in this match against Pete Sampras tonight under the lights. Woodruff told me before the match that he was feeling a little bit nervous going out there for his first quarterfinal, but he really hasn't showed it. Sampras has just played at another level than he's played throughout the event. You know, if Woodruff could have played this Pete Sampras of earlier in the tournament, he might have had a real shot to take Sampras out. You can see his first time past the third round, and they're 5 times before. So a big week down under for the man from Knoxville. This will give him a big boost, I think, for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, it gives you a big boost anyway in the points race for the end of the year. It helps you with your ranking, obviously, so his seedings will be better.
Sampras playing a smart match, too. He's jammed Woodruff occasionally on the second serve. That time he spun it in, took a little off it. You see Woodruff couldn't even get around that to cracked the forehand. He just had to block it back. Pete then goes behind Woodruff, who doesn't move that well back to the same side. Woodruff, you know, he moves pretty well to the open court. He's not the most nimble guy. Sampras continuing to bring out the gas with the serve. Another routine service game so far.
Sampras, new balls, please.
New balls, and Sampras holds on. 3-1, breaker serve. And the bad news for Chris Woodruff is what you said earlier in this match, Patrick McEnroe, and that is that when Pete Sampras gets his nose out front in the set, he kind of relaxes, takes it easy, because he knows how difficult it is to break him, especially on this surface that helps his serve so much.
15 love.
Woodruff hits double digits with his serve and aces. That's his 10th against 14 for Sampras.
Out. 30 love.
It's great to see Chris come back, though, after that knee surgery. Obviously had a good year last year. And, you know, I spoke to him quite a few times when he was out for that year, and that's always a hard time for a player. I know it myself. Mal knows it, being through an operation. I had 2. And he always stayed positive. You know, he had a lot of steps backwards that he took in his rehab at his knee. And Chris always saw the bigger picture, that he could come back.
You like him, don't you? He's a good guy.
Good kid.
Sampras ahead.
They call it Stormy Monday. No Tuesday, no bad.
The all-wheel drive Carrera 4. It's one beautiful day after another.
Winter X Games, February 4th through 8th on ESPN and ESPN2.
Pretty easy to say that Pete Sampras plays as well as he has to, Patrick McEnroe. I think that when he took on Black, that's Wayne Black of Zimbabwe, he did not expect what happened.
No, Wayne Black attacked Sampras, who was off on his ground strokes. Wayne Black won the first 2 sets. That was the second set right there. And Sampras was in all sorts of trouble, but he started to play more aggressively, work his way back into it. Great hands here at net. This was in the 5th. Sampras was down a couple of break points in the 5th, Cliff. Early on his serve, got out of trouble. Remember, Black actually had a forehand pass that he just hit long on a break point. And finally, Sampras able to win it 6-3 in the 5th. He's never lost a 5-setter down under 8-0. Sampras doesn't look like he's going to have to go the distance in this one. Cruising up 2 sets and a break here in the 3rd.
Leading 15-love in this game.
13.
And as you said earlier, Cliff, this is a different Pete Sampras from the one we saw in the first week. And I just get the sense that Sampras really felt that this match was crucial in as far as getting prepared for the Agassi match. You know, that he had to play at his top level in this one. Because despite what some people think, as an athlete, and particularly as a tennis player in the one-on-one sport, you can't just turn it on that quickly, you know, without having played a great match leading into a big match, or feeling comfortable and confident. And now Sampras, I think, will have that confidence, that edge, going into the match with Andre. Because we know Andre has it. I mean, he's been playing at the peak of his talent and his game since the first ball that he hit down under. Just been dominant.
Sampras holds on, and he maintains the lead, 4-2 and 2-0. America's Cup Challenger sets out from New Zealand. Don't miss our coverage on ESPN2 throughout the week. For more, log on to ESPN.com. It's part of the Go Network, go.com. It's about time to get that back to the good old USA. Down under for long enough.
That's right. Now the Davis Cup's down under. The Aussies winning that this past year. Good news for the Australian team. Mark Philippoussis just announcing yesterday that he will be part of the team in their first-round tie with Switzerland. That's a big, big story down here. Of course, the Americans sending their A-team. My brother, the captain, John McEnroe, with Pete, Andre, Todd Martin, and Alex O'Brien. Alex O'Brien, by the way, in the semifinals of the doubles here with Jared Palmer. Well, they've had a good run here so far.
I told him earlier this week he is one good doubles player. I saw him in Hartford playing beautifully and winning it.
Oh, that one on the line.
15-all.
Sampras moving beautifully. I mean, his speed really evident in this shot. He just catches the tail end of it. Look at the way he hooks that in right on the paint.
I want to take you back to what you told us earlier, Patrick, when you talked to Pete in the locker room, and you said, well, you're going to be real aggressive in this match, and he said to you 3 little words, that's the plan. So obviously he's arguing about this call.
Yeah, it looked well long, yeah. Well, he's put that plan into practice.
And my question is he going to say the same thing to you before the semifinal with Agassi?
Probably, yeah.
So that's going to be the plan.
I think that's going to be the plan. Be a little tougher to employ against Agassi.
That one says wide game to Woodruff. Sampras has got the break. He leads 4-3 and 2-0 in an effort to get to the semifinal.
Open your new year with a gift from DirecTV. It's the return of Blondie, one of rock's most innovative bands, in an exclusive free concert.
Feel the rapture.
On DirecTV. Featuring songs from their new album, Blondie Live. Blondie in concert, playing all this month. Free to our customers on Channel 103. Another DirecTV preview event.
Thank you. You know, some people might find this somewhat intense, but these guys are just warming up, because we're talking playoff stretch run, baby. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and score with NHL Center Ice. You'll see up to 30 out-of-market games every week through the rest of the season for just $99. Plus, select first and second round Stanley Cup playoff games. It's time for the game's best to pick up the pace.
It's time for you to pick up the vote.
It's NHL Center Ice on DirecTV.
Pacific Life Tournament summary. Well, you got to tip your cap to Jenny Capriati in the first semifinal of a major since '91. Agassi awaiting Pete Sampras to get through this one. Of course, that's the matchup we've all been waiting for. And Lindsay Davenport looking very, very solid, more and more solid, in fact, as the tournament's gone on. She hasn't lost a set, but very impressive in her win over Allard Descougy in the quarterfinals. She'll take on Jennifer Capriati.
Sampras serving. Up a break, 4-3. 2 sets to none. He is 2 games away from a date in the semi-final with Andre Agassi, who had a easy straight set win earlier today. Nice match though with Hisham Arazi of Morocco.
Pete showing that you can play a little shortstop. Or what do they call it here? I mean, I know it's cricket, but what's the position? They like that down in Australia, right, Cliff?
Yeah, they've got all sorts of positions. Silly Madonna.
Okay, all right.
Things like that.
Okay. I like shortstop better. That's a little, that rolls off my tongue a little easier. Pretty good second baseman I saw today down on the practice courts. Roberto Alomar, the Porsche radar gun a $112. He's the fiancé of Mary Pierce.
Right.
Again, that swinging wide serve from Sampras. Almost unhittable. I mean, you got to guess on this. Look where Woodruff ends up. 2 feet outside the court.
Game points for Sampras. Bad news for Woodruff is that Sampras has only had 1 break point against his serve game in this match.
Sampras.
4 points away for Sampras now. 12-time Grand Slam winner.
Yeah, he's barely lost points in his service games the last 2 sets, really, Cliff. Sampras.
Patrick, in cricket, that shortstop would be called a fielder.
Fielder, okay.
They're all fielders. You're telling each other about cricket position?
Now we know we're in trouble.
There are 11 fielders out there. 1 guy's in the slips. Maybe he's the shortstop. Could we call him that? Maybe. Americans talking about cricket. Excuse me. Sampras nearly ran into the ball kid there at the net.
The ball kid was looking there. He's got to get out of the way. Pete jogging back, and great return here, and he just really took a good whack at this one. 30 love. Fourth double for Woodruff. Go along with his 12 aces.
Pressure is on Chris Woodruff.
Ooh, looked like it went wide.
It sure did, and Sampras thought so.
Can't see his face from here.
Mike Morrissey's not going to overrule.
Can't see his face from here.
The chair umpire is in a great position to overrule that ball because it is on his side of the court.
Deuce. Match point for Sampras, folks. The rivalry that was Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras took a break for a couple of years when Agassi took a break, but it is alive and well and back. And if Sampras wins this point and this match, which he surely will, the rivalry continues in the semi-final here of the Australian. Match point to Sampras. They are the two giants of men's tennis.
They get ready for one more giant match in the Grand Slams. Agassi did his part earlier today over Arazi, and Sampras, man, did he kick up his game a couple of levels in this one against Woodruff. Beautiful performance from Pete Sampras. Just everything clicking tonight, and Pete got to feel very, very confident, and he does. I think, look at that smile, getting ready for the A train.
So it is all set for the semifinal between Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. In the semifinals, their rivalry will continue, and they are both playing at a level above the rest of the field. Here is a look at the overall.
Well, Sampras has dominated recently. He's won 9 of the last 11, including some of those big finals last year. Of course, the big one at Wimbledon, 4 or 5 last year, 3-0 in finals. Agassi's won only once down here in a final when they played against each other 4 times.
Sampras a winner.